there, Debbie Lechusa, the business stylist, and today's question has to do with calculating expenses associated with your service or your signature program. It's one of the things that I recommend people do in my course, How to Market Yourself as a Coach or Consultant. And that is put together your package or your signature program, and then obviously figure out what you're going to sell it for, figure out what your revenue projections are, and then identify any hard costs or expenses that are associated with delivering that package. But I got a question. I'm a coach. What kind of hard costs are you talking about? Can you give me some examples? Well, here's the thing. As an independent coach or consultant, you probably don't have a lot of expenses or hard costs. You probably are working out of your home office, so you may not have any type of rent or things like that. And really, rent and your computer and your phone or anything like that, even your email marketing service, like if you're using Aweber or MailChimp, those types of services are really business expenses. They're not specific to the signature program that you're selling or the package that you're selling. So most often, independent coaches and consultants don't have hard costs that are associated with the specific package. What I want you to think about is there something associated with serving each and every one of your clients that maybe you give them all a book, and you have to produce that book. Maybe you give them some other materials, support materials, or if you're a nutrition coach, maybe they get some supplements from you or something like that. You want to think about if there's a hard cost associated just with that package. That's what you want to take into consideration when you're making sure that your package is going to be profitable. But I really don't want you to be worrying about overhead type expenses or general marketing expenses. Those really fall in a different category. Your profit is never going to be 100% in your business. You're going to have your revenue that comes in. You're going to have some expenses for marketing, telephone, internet, things like that. Those are business expenses and those will get deducted, and then you'll have net revenue. But what I'm talking about in conjunction with just offering your service or your signature program to make sure that the program is priced in a way that it by itself it can be profitable are only those things that are directly related to you delivering that service. Let's say you're a personal trainer and you have to rent studio space to do your sessions with your clients. That's something that you might want to take into consideration. If it's not your normal office expense, but it's just when you go out and you do a session. Again, it's not a hard and fast rule here. Do what works for you. Really, what I want to leave you with today is just to make sure that you are taking into account your expenses. It's far too easy to focus only on the revenue coming in and be so excited about if you're making a lot of money. And what tends to happen is when you make a lot of money, you start spending more money. And I've been there. I started spending a lot of money on marketing and trying to grow my business, and I wasn't paying attention to the bottom line. And I had a year where I did really, really well in terms of revenue. And I actually ended up losing money in my business because I spent too much. So always keep an eye on the bottom line. Make sure that you're bringing in more than is going out. And really don't start creating a lot of expenses, and I'll say unnecessary, because ultimately there's not a lot required to get out there and start servicing clients. There's a lot of things that are nice to have, but there's not a lot of mandatory things. I mean, if you can go meet with somebody in person or you can pick up the phone and call them, you really don't need a whole lot more than that. So don't start spending money on things until you have money coming in. I've seen too many people go upside down in their business. I actually had a client tell me one day that she had a friend who spent like 6 to 12 months and $100,000 setting up her business, her website, creating products, getting professional photo shoots and videos and all that kind of stuff. $100,000 to set the business up, not even in business yet. And she had to fold. She had to file bankruptcy because she didn't have $100,000 coming in to cover those expenses. That is a sad story, and it's so unnecessary. You don't need to do that. So keep the expenses in check until you can afford to actually invest in those things. And just get out there, be a little scrappy. Get started. Start getting clients. Start working with them. Start making money. And if you can do that without all the bells and whistles, you can succeed in business. I guarantee it. If you have a question that you would like answered, send it to me at debbie@thebizstylist.com, and maybe yours will be the next question I answer. Until then, take care.